What's up, guys? MJ's back in the house again for a in-theater review. Recently, and I mean very recently, my wife and I went and saw the movie Ghostbusters. This was the Ghostbusters that was with all the women. This was Kristen Wiig, this was Kate McKinnon, Melissa McCarthy, and Leslie Jones. I right away, I was very optimistic about this movie when I heard about it a year and a half ago being filmed in Boston, which they made it in the movie to be New York, but it was very obvious Boston. But I really was actually very optimistic because I've always loved this series, Ghostbusters 1 and 2, with the original actors from the 80s and 90s. And I was not at all like worried. I was not very pessimistic whatsoever. I was pumped because 3 out of the 4 actresses that I've named I really like, with the exception of Kristen Wiig. I'm not a big Kristen Wiig fan. Never really found her funny. I always consider her what I like to call very assumed humor, or very assumed funny, which means she just thinks she's funny without having to work hard at it. I never really liked that. And there's nothing worse than someone who thinks they're funny. I've always seemed to just feel that way about her. I don't know. I've never even met her, so I'm being judgmental. I get it. But I just always really never really cared for her as an actress. I don't know what it is. But I love Leslie Jones from SNL and Kate McKinnon from SNL. And I really like Melissa McCarthy. They are just so funny to me. And in this movie, Kate McKinnon, I just laughed so hard at her. She played a girl named Holtzman. I think it was Gillian Holtzman. She was a scientist. And anyway, but the whole point is, this is a Paul Feig movie who does a lot of movies with Melissa McCarthy, and I believe also Kristen Wiig. So they obviously have a great connection, a great relationship from director to actor. But this movie is basically, I thought this movie was going to kind of be a carryover piggyback from the first and second movie. This was not. This was like its own installation. This was not like Ghostbusters 3, like, oh, they didn't talk about like Peter Venkman and Egon and Ray Stantz and all that kind of stuff. And Ernie Hudson's character, they didn't talk about them at all. It wasn't like that. They didn't even have a name yet. And they developed, and then slowly they became Ghostbusters. They got the name, I think, from the media. I think that's how they developed the name in this movie. But the movie is basically, it's Kristen Wiig's like a professor, and she is trying to get more into her job at Columbia University, trying to get more promotions, but she's kind of known for writing a ghost story book that she's very embarrassed by, that she wrote with Melissa McCarthy. And Melissa McCarthy works at an institute not too far away. She's a scientist, kind of crazy in her own way. And she also works with Kate McKinnon, and they're kind of neighboring teachers at this institute. And she kind of says, and Kristen Wiig kind of says, can you please stop making these, or stop putting these books on Amazon, because my name keeps coming up when you Google me, and it's embarrassing. And the president of the Columbia University, or the dean, is like not very thrilled with this kind of this kind of news. So she's like, it's not a big deal. But they get a call, or they get some kind of they get someone who owns an institute that's recently been haunted, to come see their institute to see if it is haunted. And in fact, it is very haunted. I don't want to give away too much. This isn't a spoiler review, but it gives away a little bit, as in like I'll tell you more about the story rather than the plot. But they all discover, the 3 girls, they discover that this place is haunted. So they get into it, and they want to like be Ghostbusters, and they want to figure it out. And Kate McKinnon's really the brains and operation of this whole thing, where she keeps making all these guns that can get the ghosts and stuff like that, and that can get the slime and then put them in that little whatever it's called that they bring the ghost to, and they clamp it and they take it to their ghost lair or whatever. And I don't know what they do, but anyway, it's very much like the first movie. I saw a lot of comparisons to the original guys, like Bill Murray's character, Harold Ramis's character, Dan Aykroyd's character, and Ernie Hudson. Obviously, I really think Kristen Wiig's character was supposed to be like Bill Murray, kind of apathetic but very assured of themselves. I thought that Melissa McCarthy and, of course, Kate McKinnon's role was definitely, Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd's character. I definitely think it's hard to say which one was which there, because they're both kind of weird, so was Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis in that movie. And, of course, Ernie Hudson's character comes on later, just as the suggestion of Leslie Jones does, too. And, and they discover there's somebody in the city that is conjuring these ghosts up, and they have to figure out where this is happening, who's doing it. Is it a he or a she? And I don't want to give away too much. If you see the movie, you'll know exactly what's going on about this. But they have to just figure out why these ghosts are coming around. Like, why is this happening? And someone's actually manipulating the system and doing this, who's actually a live person. And they are crazy, they're twisted, they have a really strange mind, and they want to haunt everybody because they're a tortured soul, which has kind of been done before. So it's like, okay, so it's the guy or girl that was picked on, and now they hate everyone. I get that, but this type of story has been done before, but just not to this magnitude of it being a Ghostbusters movie. But like I said again, the actors were very good. I thought Kate McKinnon was the funniest one. I laughed at everything she did. She's so good. She doesn't have to even say a word, and her expressions are hilarious. There's a ton of cameos. Really, really happy about the cameos. Unfortunately, I will tell you, Harold Ramis was not in this movie because he unfortunately passed away not that long ago. I think a couple years ago. So he played Egon. So that was very sad. But there's a lot of cameos in this movie. Really thought the cameos were done very well. I was entertained in this movie. I actually thought the very beginning to the middle was excellent. And then I thought right around the climax occurred, right around, everything came, and showed reared its ugly head. I thought it got a little ridiculous, a little rambunctious, and just kind of like, okay, so that's the plot, that's the twist, like that's what's going on. I thought it was really good, but it kind of almost gave that feel of like Transformers, like the whole city's just getting the shit kicked out of them, but everything's gonna be okay. It kind of reminded me of The Dark Side of the Moon, which is a horrible movie of the Transformers, where the whole city just gets annihilated, but everything's okay afterwards. So the climax of the movie, I wasn't crazy about, but I did like the movie. I give it a 3 out of 5 stars. I thought it was pretty good. I think I might actually buy it because I did enjoy the majority of the movie. I'd say 2/3 of the movie I really liked, and the last third I was just not big on. Like I said, the ending climax area, it was just, I don't know, a little contrived. But again, I did like this movie overall. I would suggest you see it. Very nostalgic, being the Ghostbusters. You will love the cameos. They were done very well. Again, Kate McKinnon stole the show for me. That's a tongue twister. Stole the show for me, and I really liked what she offered. And it was really cool to see 3 out of the 4 be SNL alumni / current players. So that was really cool. But yeah, so I intend on seeing some more movies that are in the theaters very soon. Again, I've been gone for like 7 months, just taking care of life, taking care of stuff. Recently got married, so I just have been really busy with everything. But I promise to do more movies. So you take it easy. Okay, bye.